You have a prepaid call from an inmate at the R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using...
Hey, what up? What up, Wolf?
Hey, what's up, Wolf?
Oh, shit. Can't call it, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm thankful. How you doing?
Oh, shit, man. You know, just getting ready to head out, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm interested in pen pals. Whoever will write me, I'll write back. I'm a writer, so that's what I do. I'm interested in hearing from younger youth, so I can help guide them in a way that, that away from where I went,
Okay, what's your nationality?
I'm Samoan, Mexican, and Japanese.
Okay, were you ever part of any gangs, groups, or organizations?
Yeah, I'm from Parkville, Compton. Crip is located in the Samoan community in Compton.
Okay. Can you go ahead and explain to the audience, the upbringing as a child, man, and do you come from a single parent family, foster care, and things of that nature, man?
Yeah, so my mother was a single mother. All her baby daddies weren't around. They were in prison or just strung out on drugs, and she sold drugs to take care of us and provide for us, and there was 4 of us, so it was hard for her, although she was addicted to the drugs that she was selling, So, we really ran the house, she would just hustle and we would just run around like, the neighborhood was ours. And, eventually I got molested, and then she shot all of us out, and I didn't really have family to go to, She shot everybody to their family members because her boyfriend was coming home from prison, and he didn't want no kids around. So when they did that, I didn't really have nowhere to go, and I was blessed to have 2 people to come in my life and take care of me, so they became my foster parents. And I was so bad that I got them evicted from their house and fired from their jobs, and they had no place, to house me or feed me. They barely had enough to take care of themselves. So they placed me in Orangewood Children's Home in Orange County, and I went through the system, man. I was the baddest kid there, probably to this day. If you mention my name, they'll still remember me. I got shipped all over California, I got shipped all the way out to Ukiah, Mendocino County, Santa Ana, Anaheim, Orange, just all over, and it got to the point where no one wanted to accept me that I was that bad.
All right. Hey, what eventually led you to join Parkville Crip, man? How you meet these individuals, bro?
Well, actually, my brothers are from Long Beach. So at first I was rocking with my brothers, because they're my foster brothers and they're my loved ones. But I found out my Samoan family was all from Park Village, and my dad was actually an OG from there. And so, I gravitated away from Long Beach where my family was at and gravitated towards my Samoan family, my Samoan side. And that's how I came about that. And I started representing the Samoan community hard, picking up guns and, shooting and getting covered all kind of weapons and just, thinking I was the hardest person on the earth, and, that's how it got me here.
All right, what did they call you within that street gang?
Oh, they call me Ryder.
What are you incarcerated for, and how long is your sentence?
I'm actually incarcerated for 11 years for, I'm at R.J. Donovan in San Diego, and I'm incarcerated for assaulting some people with a firearm. I went to work one day, and I told my woman that when I come home, I want to take her out. And, I'm a heavy drinker, and I told her I wouldn't drink. So when I got off work, I bought me some drink, and I started drinking before we went out. And I asked her, hey, are you going to come? And she said no, and I asked her why. And she said, because you're drinking. And, I laughed. I was like, what the hell? How do you know, And she said, your sister texted me and told me. So I just looked at my sister, and I gave her a look. And I told my girl, I said, well, if you don't come see me now, you'll never see me again. And she said, I'm not coming. So I grabbed my gun. I walked outside, and my mindset was trying to kill somebody. So when I walked outside,
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I seen one of my homies crossing the street, and I said, hey, man, where you going, bro? And he was like, man, I'm going to back up my brother in a fight. So it was like everything was falling into place, you know? And so I told him, hey, man, look, just square up with him and, you know, distract him, and I'm going to come from behind and I'm going to shoot him in the head. And so when we got there to the venue, the dudes weren't there. And I just told him, I said, hey, man, call him and tell him, you know, if they don't come, I'm going to come and kick the door in and I'm going to kill everybody in the house. And I got them there, you know, but when they arrived, they tried to run us over. So I pushed my homie out the way, and I got in the middle of the street and I shot at the car several times trying to kill the driver. And they eventually got away unharmed. But then I went to the last call for alcohol at a 7-Eleven. And as soon as I turn the corner, I see some Mexicans, bald head, you know, and they were looking at me like, you know, like they noticed me or something. So I put it in my mind and said, you know what, okay, I'm going to check them out. So I walked past their car, and I doubled back and I put the gun to the dude's head, and I said, hey, man, where you from? No, I ain't from nowhere, man. I don't bang. I'm not from out of town. I said, man, you sure you ain't from Evil Ways? And he was like, nah, man. So, you know, me, I'm like, all right, well, if you're not an enemy, then I'm not gonna victimize you, you know? So I leave there and go into the store and get some drink. And when I come out, I'm walking, you know, leaving the 7-Eleven. As soon as I hit the corner, I hear freeze. And when I hear freeze, I already know who they are, you know, it's the police. So I grab my gun and I grab my beer to my chest and I run fast. And while I'm running, I hear gunshots. So when I hear the gunshots, I duck and I turn right. As soon as I turn right, the wood split it in the fence. And, you know, if I wouldn't have turned right, it would have hit me right in the head. It's still there till this day, the bullet hole. And so when I get to my house, I'm knocking on the door to get in. And no one's answering. So I hop the fence and I tuck my gun into a mop bucket and under some wood and it's submerged in water. And I'm banging on the door and my dad comes and he opens the door and he's like, boy, you're crazy. Why are you banging so hard, you know? I ignore him and I just rush into the shower. I take my clothes off. I try to wash off all the gunpowder, you know? And I get out the shower. I put something warm on because I know I'm going to jail. And so, while I'm pacing back and forth, my mom is looking at me like, boy, what are you doing? You need to stay off drugs. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to jail. Mom, I'm going to jail. And my mom was like, boy, you're not going to jail. You need to go lay down. And my dad looks outside the window and he says, yeah, that boy's going to jail. Well, the whole block was surrounded with gang unit, cops, dogs, and helicopters. So my dad went out to figure out what was going on. And then we get a phone call on my mom's cell phone, and they say, hey, man, make Louia come out first, and, you know, you come out last. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm going to jail for life. I might as well go out with a bang. So I told my mom, I love you, you know. I'm saying my goodbye. I told her to go out first. So I was going to go grab my gun and just come out and, you know, go guns blazing. But my mom pleaded with me, and she said, man, boy, please just go out. We know you're crazy. We just go out, you know. And eventually I came out and I got handcuffed and, you know, I got sentenced. At first I thought I was facing life, so I asked them, give me 30 years and I'll sign on the first court date. And they said, you know what, man, you're facing 75 to life. We're not going to give you 30 years. And eventually I fought my case for a year and a half and they gave me 11 years. And that's where I've been in prison this whole time.
All right. That's what's up. Hey, before I ask another question, Oos, man, you got another call after this?
Do I what?
Can you call me after this one expires?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, then we got more time. Okay, hey, let me ask you this, Oos, man. I know when I first got incarcerated, right? I know how I felt about it. You feel me? So that bus ride was a long bus ride, homie. You feel me? So hey, man, my question to you is, how do you feel about it, bro? I mean, knowing that you go to prison for 11 years, bro, man, what's your mentality, homie?
Well, honestly, I never thought I'd be sat down like that, you know? I thought I'd be running the streets, being hardcore for a long time without being caught, you know? So when I actually got sat down for 11 years, it was like a reality hit. And while I was fighting my case, my stepmom passed away, and she was my heart, you know? So it just hit reality into me, and I still wasn't ready to change, you know? I was still gangbanging and doing my thing, you know, politicking with the homies, and, you know, just all my anger built up, and I was just not caring, you know? I was like, you know, I'm going to be the hardcore dude on the yard, you know? That was like my goal. So, you know, further in my sentence, you know, after putting in work and doing my thing, I started to realize that it's not all about putting in work. You know, you got to get education. You got to utilize your time in a proper manner. And so I started studying a lot. I did a lot of whole time, so I started studying a lot. And I put it like this. You know, during my time, 11 years, I might have to do things that I don't want to do, you know, just the things that I'm obligated to. But as long as I pick back up in my studies, I feel that I'm weighing it out, you know? Like, the balance is straight.
Right.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So let me ask you this, man. Being part of your Crip, man, and being you know what I mean? When we hit the main line, right, with that type of mentality, you feel me? With the gangbang mentality still, you probably had like some type of chip on your shoulder, if I'm not mistaken, right? And also, probably want to make a name for yourself within the prison system. You feel me? So my question to you is, what did you do to make a name for yourself within the prison system and within the car?
Well, first of all, you gotta separate. It's a choice you have to make. Are you gonna gangbang or are you gonna represent your race? And me, I'm Samoan, so I represent my race to the fullest, you know. So when I came in, I put my gangbang into the side, and I represented my race. So I ran with the other car. So basically, you know, there's a lot of things that go on. You know, people getting dead, people are rapists, people are child molesters, people are rats, and we have to vet them before, you know, they're even able to stay on the yard. And if they're not able to stay on the yard, then it comes down to who's gonna be the first to move on them. And you know, that goes to people who haven't put in work before, or people that are there that are just there lingering, you know. So, hey, it's your turn, and you really don't have no choice, because if you turn it down, it's going to be back on you, you know? And so I didn't start putting in work until I actually got DP'd. You know, I got DP'd at Folsom State Prison for giving a knife to another race. You know, he was a Crip, and, you know, I'm a Crip, so he was like, man, I need a knife, and I said, okay, not knowing that I'm breaking the rules, you know? And as I broke the rules, you know, the older head came to me and was like, hey, man, you know, you're a first-termer, you messed up, you know, it's okay. And, you know, me being prideful and, you know, gangster, I was like, you know, if you got a problem, you got to get a DP out the way, we can go through it right now. Let's go to the middle of the yard, you know? And they're like, no, it's good. And so I came out from the yard, from school later that night, and they go, hey, man, go see who's going to buy the soups. Ask the Uso who's going to buy some soups, me or him. And I said, you know what, I'll go do that. I went and asked, and he said, oh, I'm going to buy them. So I go to relay the message, and as I relay the message, as I'm walking away to go back to my building, you know, I see two of my homies. I'm like, oh, what's up, man? You know, I'm about to shake their hands, but I should have knew something was wrong, because they weren't separating. They were staying in one position, you know, like 2 feet apart. And
you have 60 seconds remaining.
They were walking towards me, and I go to shake their hand, and they both fire on me, you know, attack me. And I got to take my medicine. You know, I took my medicine, and I got slept on the yard. It was bad, man. But then at the end of the day, I was asking to come back to the yard, you know, to sign the chronos. And they were like, no, we don't want to sign them. Well, in reality, you're supposed to sign the chrono, because you're not supposed to make a homie an enemy unless he's no good, you know?
Yeah. They want to make sure you ain't gonna retaliate. You feel me? And they do choose the closest one to you to assault you. You feel me? But call me back, homie.
I'm gonna call you back right now.
All right.
All right, bye. Hey, what's up, Booth?
Hey, what up, Booth? So, let me ask you this. What do you have to say to the youth, the youngsters out here that's involved in criminal activity or gang activity, and things of that nature, man?
Well, when you pick up that gun and you shoot it the first time, you feel electricity through your body. It gives you an energy, a power source that, feels like nothing else on this world can give you, So, all the robberies and the things that people are doing out there, I just want to tell youth, man, it's not worth it. Coming in here and sitting down and watching your family grow old through pictures, losing them at the same time, not being able to go to their funerals, it hurts you in the long run. And I ain't gonna lie, I just cried last night because I watched my baby brother got killed by the police. And so, school, the important thing is to study, In here, it's not about disrespect, it's about respect. Respect yourself, conduct yourself like a man, always be about your words. Make goals for yourself. Make a 5-year development plan. Start with 1 day. Make a plan for 1 day. Make a plan for 1 week. Make a plan for 1 month. Make a plan for 1 year. And then go ahead and make a plan for 5 years. That's going to give you something to work towards, Be there for your family, because at the end of the day, when you're experiencing the time that I'm doing, I don't see my homie sending me money. I see family sending me money, taking care of me and loving me and hurting while I'm down. They're not going to care for you. The only time they're going to care for you is when you get a cell phone and they say, and you hit them up. They never going to write you. The people you think you're loyal to, they don't care about you. So, just get your head right.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Get your head right, get an education, invest in some property, get a good wife, treat her good. That's the best advice I can give you at the moment.
Okay, let me ask you this. What events have occurred or what day made you realize or made you change your outlook in life, man?
Okay, well, on July 8th of 2019, I had just bought an ounce of crystal meth. I bought an ounce of weed. And, I was hustling, doing my thing. I had a phone, and, my celly was Indian, so he had money. So, we were just doing our thing, And at the same time, my brother had just got killed in a home invasion. And when I heard the news, it broke my heart, And I started doing drugs, like tough. I stayed up the whole month of July. I probably slept only 8 days, And I was up so long that eventually I started seeing things, I thought my homie pulled a knife on me, and in reality he didn't, and in my mind I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to come out with a knife now, So I came out with a knife the next day, and I said, hey man, let me talk to you, And in my mind I'm like, dude, if you say something the wrong way, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stab you to death right here. That's how high I was, and that's how committed I was to the time, And so I said, hey, man, come here, let me talk to you. And he was like, nah, let's sit over here. So, I gave him the respect of the venue of where he wanted to be, where we talked. I just thought, I said, hey, man, did you pull a knife on me yesterday, He's like, nah, man, you're tripping, dude. You need to go to sleep and go eat, stay off the drugs. I'm like, man, maybe it's true because it's not the first time I heard it, And, so the next month goes by, and I'm still going through it, I'm breaking down and crying in front of everybody, and I didn't care who's seen it, They're not feeling the pain that I'm feeling, They're not losing the loved ones that I'm losing, And so I just sat there and I started evaluating my life, I just started sitting and thinking like, hey, man, I'm sitting here and sacrificing for people that don't care about me. They let me go to the hole and mess my date off and not go home to my family. I'm saying fuck my family every time I go and put in work, And it's not loyal to them. They're being loyal to me, So I started evaluating that and taking into consideration that I need to start putting my family first, I'm no longer gonna put these dudes first, And that's how it came about. I just made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm no longer going to put these dudes first, anybody before my family or myself anymore. And that's when I started my education. I started writing my books. And, I'm writing 2 books at the moment. And one is a fantasy, and the second one is all memories, true events that happened, no fabrication. So that's part of the thing that helped me change my ways,
Okay, that's what's up. I don't have any more questions for you, but do you have anything address or add?
Not at the moment.
Okay, would you like to give any shout out to any family or friends out here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my dad Mike, my mom Eleanor, my whole Webb family. I love all you guys, and my baby Faye. That's my girl. She's been taking care of me, and I'm gonna come home and be there for her. And you too, Oos. I appreciate you for your time, man. It means a lot to me.
Oh, don't trip, man. It means a lot to me, man. Individuals like yourself, man, come and share your stories, man, and changing people's lives, man. Oos, man, you're doing a great thing, man.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping I could change someone's life because, I wish somebody could have changed mine before I got to this point.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, so there you have it,
One
ladies.
thing I can say to the youth is when you get to this point, it isn't over. You just got to progress in a positive manner, And that's what I can say is, if you ever get to this point, youth, it's not over. As long as you're breathing, you got a fight in you. You just got to have the willpower, to take a few steps forward.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free to write to homie and all that. You have any questions and all that, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you coming to the show.
All right,